Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're recording a bit late today. I had to take care of some stuff. Not taking care of it. I had to help my mom and stuff, with the clothes. Yeah, there was some problem with the washer, so it take some time. But yeah, we're recording a bit late, but it's fine. Yeah, so just update throughout the week. So, going to old lady's house again, on Saturday. Then I also work on some web development stuff. Uh, Pretty sure I talked about it last week, but I'm taking a course off Meta slash Facebook. Taking the front end one. There are nine courses or nine courses of that the front end part. I'm almost done number one. I'm on week four. I'm on week four now, and week four is just just some reviews, but that's pretty much it. There's no labs, I think. And I think there's a quiz, but that's really pretty much it. The main parts are really number week two and week three. And that course is like they say it was like 26 hours. So my next course is gonna be I think it's called React Basics or something. It's gonna be like 42, 46, something around that. So yeah, it's been interesting. I enjoy it so far. There's a lot to learn. Yeah, especially CSS. There's a lot to learn. Again, a lot of stuff I learned was the introduction, but go in depth throughout, each course. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, that's just as far as the web development. Yeah, so throughout the week, number Monday wasn't really interesting, but Tuesday was really very interesting. So I'll give like a quick background. I'm pretty sure I shared this before, but I have a very well, not me. I have a my mom has a very interesting siblings. They're not very what people really think tradition in terms of if you're in the Asian community, you would think there is very very not normal. But if it's for the majority of the world, not majority of the Western world, they probably would say like, mm. Yeah. So give a quick background. So my the old lady, uh, this is her pattern. So Monday she wet her urine. Oh no, before that, my grandma's dementia. She doesn't really know that much. Her brain doesn't function well. Uh, she tripped a few years ago, I think about 5 years ago, around 5 years ago. Definitely before pandemic, it was like 2018, I think, around that time. She tripped, so her brain haven't been functioning right. And the over the year, the after she tripped, she was like relatively okay, not the best, but it got on worse after COVID, during COVID, got worse. She isn't really memorizing stuff. She doesn't really know what she's really doing. To a point that she's eating when she was cooking. She was eating raw stuff that she didn't even know. And this was when she was living alone at the time. Yeah, even though it's not normal for my grandma living alone, but that's the way she wants. She feel comfortable. So never really brought her living with one of her never really brought her in because she wants to live alone. And also there's some getting a spam call. Yeah, there's some differences, and she doesn't want to move in with us. So and also my mom and my grandma not really on the best terms. Yeah, but not like towards hating each other. Not compared to my aunt. My aunt is something else, but I guess cannot complain too much. But my grandma is not the best person to deal with. She has a big attitude. She has no filter. She'll talk anything she wants. And most people will find her very, very mean or, be offended whatever she say. She's very noisy too. Like she's the type of person like you talk to her. Let's say two old lady talking to her, she say, "How much your son makes?" Like she just goes straight to that. So I think it's very old traditional mind way of thinking. Oh yeah, so a lot of people wouldn't like her and her attitude. She's very rude. And she easily get jealous too when Like my mom sometimes would go out to meet her friends. Uh, not to hang out, just like go eat. She'll get mad, like say, "Oh, why aren't you coming back?" Something like that. So she's also the jealous type too. So it's pretty. My grandma's pretty interesting personality. Yeah. So then my aunt took her in for like 20 years. That's when her mind was clear. Uh, and she was still the same thing too. She's always been like this. Her whole lifetime. Yeah, and over her lifetime, she always been very nice to my uncle because that's the son, and it's very traditional back then. Maybe it would be slightly better now. I don't know. The parents always prioritize the son, always treat the son good. Treat like king. Yeah. So there's a huge bias. Yeah, and she always say like try to make her son sound good. Like what's it called? She always brag about what her son did to others, but when my mom do it, she doesn't really talk about it. I mean like that. And over time, definitely, it's not very nice to my mom. Uh, yeah. In the past, when her brain was clear, yes, it kind of bothered her. But now, it can't really bother because her brain isn't functioning right. Yeah. And it's to the point that she doesn't even recognize my mom. And it kind of sucks because over the years, well, ever since we came back to America, my mom is the one who's spending the most time with her. At least the past, at least the past 6 years. As in taking her out, she would take her out on the weekend, and sometimes I'll go to. But it's been a lot more throughout, since COVID. My mom had to stay at the, with my grandma throughout the weekend until the caregiver came. Then it will be only 2 days then. Yeah, so basically on Tuesday, and the son, she only comes once a week, so just come once a week. Yeah, so not that much. And he only started coming since my mom told him to. Otherwise, he just come whenever he wants to come. That's not really a particular schedule. Yeah. Yeah. So on Monday, she wet herself. Urine back because brain isn't functioning right. She does like to tell people when she's wet herself because probably embarrassed. I mean, I wasn't there. It was she lives with a caregiver. So there's always a routine. If she wet herself, she will not sleep well. Then she get grumpy in the morning. Yeah, but the past few months has always been like that. It's been like okay, nothing crazy. But on Tuesday it got crazy. She would just started yelling and using like a screwdriver on the, knocking on the wall to wake the caregiver up. Not out of like help, just not happy or anything. Then I also keep calling my mom or anybody that, she remembers the phone number. We have like a phone sheet next to the phone, so I'm pretty sure she's calling a lot of people. Yeah. She was really grumpy. Don't know what happened or what triggered her. Yeah, it was really bad situation because it was really unsafe for the caregiver at that time. Cause she was just yelling and throwing stuff that's not happy or anything. And she doesn't even recognize the caregiver too, so it doesn't really help that either. She thinks she's a stranger, so if it's a stranger, yes, I guess I kind of understand what my grandma was thinking. But yeah, her mind wasn't thinking straight. She doesn't recognize who was there in the in the room with, so that didn't help. And yeah, so she keep calling my mom. Obviously, my mom couldn't go help her because she's at work, and it's probably difficult for her to take time off because her job she hasn't stayed that long enough. I think maybe about after a year later, if you're at work at least a year, I think it'd be a lot easier. But if it's less than a year, I think it'd be a little bit more difficult. So that's why my mom didn't take time off. To go help my grandma, whatever she was needing to help, and also help the caregiver because, it's not really safe environment for the caregiver at the time, or that day. Yeah, so she was just crazy doing stuff. Yeah, but my mom talked to the son to go instead because he's been working at the company for a long time and also be easier to take time off. So he went and go to see her, but it also doesn't help that she doesn't recognize him either. Yeah, which is pretty shocking because I think that's the first time that he first saw that because my mom, we always know that he recognized her son. She doesn't recognize me. She kind of recognized my dad. She kind of recognized my mom unless you say that I'm so and so. Otherwise, she doesn't recognize. My grandma sometimes recognizes me, but she get confused between my cousins. So relatively the same age. Not relatively the same age, even though there's like 8 years gap. But she always called me different other cousins name, but I just go along with it. Uh, yeah. So my uncle came. It's the first time him seeing her like that because my uncle doesn't really know too much about my grandma in terms of the mental part because she never stayed with her, spend time with her that long time. I mean, she would spend time with her only a few hours, but not long enough to know what's her mental state. And it's more important to know if you actually spend a night with her or a whole day with her, like a whole day as in 24 hours, you would know exactly how she acts. So everybody can tell that she's not normal. But my uncle keeps saying that she's normal. I'm pretty sure she's doing it on purpose. I mean, it's kind of obvious that she's not normal, brain-wise. I mean, he's just trying to play dumb. Yeah, so my mom just say take her to the hospital. Well, my mom told my uncle to take her to the hospital, but he can't because he doesn't have a car. His wife drop him off. You can take Uber or I don't know. So obviously my so after he left like around like 2 hours there. Once he arrived there, my grandma kind of got a little bit okay and wasn't being dangerous like throwing stuff or just raging and stuff. So it got better. My mom go there after work to pick up my grandma. Come by home real quick because she needs to eat first. I just watched my grandma. I just teased her a little bit. Yeah, I said, "Do you know what's going on? Do you know what happened today?" She started feeling guilty. She started feeling guilty what was happening. Oh yeah, it got interesting. Then and she was also mad too that she wants to go because she always complain every time she comes to the house, this house. She just complains she wants to go home. She want to go home, but every time like she only arrived like a few minutes. She started complaining she want to go home. So then my mom got frustrated and took her to the hospital. Yeah, I mean my mom got frustrated is obvious reason because my uncle wasn't willing to help, and it also doesn't help that my aunt don't want to help at all because she doesn't work at all. She hasn't been working for I think around 2019. She made my mom and I think that she made excuses. What are the chances, you have a doctor's appointment at the same time and at the same day? I mean, we also know that she has, a lot of health issues that, it can be, you can try to curb, but if you don't make an effort, then, my mom always send her, medical stuff like, doing some exercise to help your hand. She has like a hand problem or something. My mom always send her like videos, but my aunt doesn't want to make an effort, do like, therapy and stuff. My aunt always relies on going to physical therapy, even though that's only once a week. That doesn't really help. You gotta do your own exercise on your own. So my mom can't, kind of frustrated, don't really want to deal with her. And yeah, it doesn't help that my aunt doesn't want to help my grandma, take her to the hospital because she's not working. She has a lot more time. Yeah. So my mom always is. It's not really in a fun situation to be my mom right now. But I try to help my mom because well, I'm supposed to anyways. Yeah. So during that day, I just really watched my grandma. Well, even before she arrived to the pick up my grandma, I was just watching her on the camera. Wait, it's also very interesting that there's 8 cameras in the apartment. Four of them are ours, and four of them are my uncle's. It used to be only four of my uncles, but he doesn't want to really share access. Sometimes he will share, sometimes he doesn't want to share. So it kind of got frustrating enough that we needed our own, so we have full control. So yeah, for a caregiver who's staying there, it's pretty interesting. He got 8 cameras in the same exact position. You know, bathroom. I mean, not bathroom, bedroom, living room, kitchen, and oh, there's two in the living room. Two sides, like here and here. Yeah. pretty interesting. Yeah, it doesn't help. And yeah, that's pretty much, the famous situation. And it looks like I want to take my grandma to the hospital, even though I don't know that much about her. I mean, I do know about her, her brain's not functioning right, but my mom said there's a lot more details. Yeah, so it looks like I'm gonna go because my uncle and my aunt haven't really said anything. But my aunt has nothing to say. She just keep making excuses. And my uncle, he just haven't said anything. So it looks like I'm gonna have to go. I don't mind going because I have time anyway, so I can go. Yeah. Then yeah, I'm just waiting for my mom to schedule an appointment that can take her, when I take her. Yeah, that's just as far as, the family background. It's relatively interesting. I mean, every family has, issues, but this is one of the families that the parents also caused the issue. Uh, yeah, from the early beginning. So yeah, it's not. My grandma's very very interesting character. I don't think it's very normal. Old lady, but it is what it is. Anyways, that's really pretty much the update for the family thing. It was relatively interesting, so I figure why not to share. Yeah. So update. What else is going on? So this week, I talked about last week. Pretty sure I talked about last week, but the trip for China thing. So it looks like we're gonna go to the Malaysia route. Uh, I'm still waiting for my dad to book a ticket. I mean, he can book a ticket. I don't know why he's not booking it, but I think he's just still shopping around, the best price. Looks like Turkish is the best price as of right now. It's 1.5K. I mean, I think it's a relatively normal price for, a July, busy season. And also airfare just, more expensive because, gas prices. So it doesn't really help. And, inflation. So yeah. He's gonna go there on, for a little bit over a month. So let's look like where we're going to go. Where my dad's gonna go. Then I might be leaving around the same time, maybe within the same week, but also depends, uh, the airfare I get. So I'm looking to pay only with points, at least going to Middle East, then from Middle East to Asia. But throughout, the Middle East, do those between, those countries are not that far. I have to pay in cash because most of them are budget airline. So, or I mean, I can transfer points too, but I'll see how much point I use because the points I also save. I'm also gonna help book for my dad's and my mom's too, so it's not gonna be that much points. Uh, I currently have 200,000 points. Transfer, to the Flying Blue, so I'll be flying Air France. I have another close to 200 or a little bit more in Capital One, but that was I didn't transfer that one. I forgot about that one. And also there was no promo. I transferred to Flying Blue because there was a promotion for Amex and Chase at the time for 30% extra. That's why I transferred. Capital One, I don't think I saw it. Well, I don't really check Capital One that much because it's not really my main card, so it could be my fault. But otherwise, it'd be just one to one rather than the extra percentage. Yeah. So as far as countries that I'm gonna go to, at least plan right now, but also it all factor down, the cost. I'm not gonna spend that much, but I'm looking at going towards the Middle East is Oman. I like Oman. I like the word Oman. I say Oman a lot. I like Oman. Oman, Egypt, Saudi, uh, maybe Iraq/Iran, one of those. Maybe. Well, if I can convince my parents. Then lastly, I'll end with Qatar because flying Qatar to Asia is cheaper, uh, and it makes sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna go to Dubai because it's not in my budget and I know it's expensive. Yeah, not this time at least. I thought about going to Turkey, but I couldn't really find good airfare at least the past few days, so Turkey is not what I have in mind right now. And Turkey could be a next time because I know Middle East, you can't just go one time. If I wanted to go around, the country, it'll definitely be a two-time thing because I'm also missing out, Kuwait, Jordan, Iraq/Iran, and Lebanon, Syria, Afghanistan. So yeah, so definitely it's gonna be two time thing, uh, to finish kind of like Middle East. So that's as far as my plan. Then I go to Qatar, then I fly to Malaysia to meet my dad. I might go to Vietnam, because there was a country that I saw. I didn't go where I want to go last time, Da Nang, and also there's an island that my mom said that I should have gone but I didn't go. And it's relatively cheap. But that's for the budget airline. Uh, it was I think it was only like $20 USD. That's only one way though from SGN to KUL. Ho Chi Minh City to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. It's only 20 USD. So I thought about it. I might fly Qatar to Vietnam. Yeah, but it all depends on my budget. I'm not looking to spend that much, like I said. And the Qatar to Asia, I can use points for that one, so that's no problem. I just need to transfer some points to Avios, so yeah. After that, so my dad's gonna leave Asia, I mean leave Malaysia on either 26 or 27, because he's gonna be back on the 28th. So, and my mom will be in. She'll arrive on the 14th, but she'll leave Malaysia at the same time as my dad, because she has to go to Taiwan to check the eyes. I mean that's a priority for her. She's still the schedule is not. She's still playing around because the she was about a round trip ticket from SFO to Taipei anyway. So it depends on the schedule she can get for the doctor's appointment, and also she'll check locally too to check because she knows she has an eye problem. So my mom's schedule is pretty much she had, but it's pretty much confirmed her schedule. It's more like when she'll go to Malaysia and when she'll go back to Taiwan. So mostly I'll stay in Malaysia for a week alone by myself because then I can go to China. But I don't want to fly from Malaysia to China, given its history. I'm not looking to do that, and it's not helping if it's Boeing too. So yeah, so what I would do is go to fly from Malaysia to Singapore, even though I know even though it's more expensive that way, but it's called safety. Um, Fly Singapore, then from Singapore to Hong Kong, and why not? Can take that beautiful A380 again. That'd be nice. Yeah, and I could go there because she could probably go to Hong Kong because my friend actually lives in Guangzhou. I don't know where. He actually never told me, but he lives in Guangzhou somewhere. And I just take a high speed rail and meet him there. He'll be leaving. He's leaving here now, but he'll be going back to China about a month from now. So I can meet him there. Then I go from Guangzhou to Shanghai, either by high speed rail or train. I mean, or flight. Yeah, yeah. That's just the plan right now. Things might change. Uh, yeah, but again, I always update. Yeah. Yeah, and also some side notes. Start looking at some houses well, not houses, some apartments in Malaysia, well, condos in Malaysia. Not a house yet because not moving there yet. But would like to get a place in Malaysia because my dad has been mentioning, but he wants to get a place in Malaysia, so. We've been looking around. We've been looking around that. We've been looking at that, and we're gonna also make some time to look at some places in Malaysia. Yeah, because my dad would like to move back. In a matter of a few years. So it's been interesting. Just watching some videos on YouTube, learning as well. Oh, an update about the videos. Talk about the finance channel. Yeah, so I made the video. I haven't uploaded it, but I made the video for I made one video, one just introduction and a background of me. That was only like 6 minutes. Then I'm looking to make my first video after things ready. After things ready, I'm looking to aim around 15 minutes. It's basically about the cruise industry in general. I think that might be my first video. Yeah, it might change, but yeah. Basically, the format is I'm gonna share what I'm only gonna make videos based on what I'm gonna search. But if all of a sudden I'm in a phase, let's say this month I'm not gonna look into anything finance. I'm not gonna upload video. So it looks like I'm gonna head in that route. But it might be my first video for cruise, but it might change. But again, I'll always share whatever happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Okay, bye.